Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks. Sorry this got delayed. Friday, I ended up A, losing track of the time, and B, having some people over. So, ended up being busy, so that also means no SmackDown or Rampage in the review. So, I think we're just going to be doing 2 of each for the next couple of days. Should be back on track next week. My apologies for this, but now we're back here for a Saturday review, and we're going to review Monday Night Raw and NWA Power. 2 very interesting and very different shows. So we start off with Monday Night Raw. Started off with a SummerSlam recap, because of course we can't escape those. And then we have Ludwig Kaiser in the ring, and he introduces the new World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. And I am not even going to try to do his entrance cadence, because that is one of a kind. Anyway, so Gunther gets in the ring, he gets on the microphone, pretty much says, look, I brought prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship, and now I'm going to do the same thing for the World Champion. And tonight, a new legacy begins. This title deserves more, and I'm ready for everyone and everything. And from this day forth, Raw and this title belong to me. And out comes SmackDown superstar Randall Keith Orton. Then Gunther picks up the microphone again and says, well, I was wrong. That was a surprise. So, very shocking to see Mr. Orton here. And Randy's pretty much congratulates Gunther on his title win. But the only reason you're there is because you didn't beat me. You beat me on a technicality at King and Queen of the Ring. And now I'm here to cash in my match that Triple H had promised me. These people here deserve a modern day Flair and Steamboat. I know where I fit in. Where do you? And you call yourself a living legend? That's fine. I made a career out of killing legends. Randy Orton bringing up the Legend Killer era? My favorite era of Randy Orton. Where he took down Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Rey Mysterio. All kinds of dudes. And I wouldn't mind doing it again at Bash in Berlin. So then Gunther gets on the mic, pretty much says, those voices in your head tell you can beat me. They're wrong. I accept. Then they extend hands, they shake. Gunther pulls Randy Orton in close, and they just have a little stare down. So we have our first match set for Bash in Berlin later on in the month. And it's a freaking doozy. That's going to be a fun matchup. I cannot wait. Then we go backstage for a Sheamus interview. With Sheamus saying, look, Randy Orton has his points, but we're going to get back to me. I demanded a match for tonight. I'm going to get Pete Dunne for what he did to me. He's trying to make a name off of me. Bring them all on. And tonight, I test out if Kaiser can have a banger. So then we cut to our first matchup of the evening, as it's Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. And yeah, it was an absolute banger. Kaiser is so underrated, it's not even funny. Like, this was an absolute well, maybe not a slobber knocker, but it was definitely a fun matchup with Pete Dunne with Sheamus winning with the bro kick. Pete Dunne actually does try to come down and interfere in the match, but that backfires. Then post-match, Pete Dunne and Sheamus have a little stare down. We then get a little Wyatt 6 video package, which honestly beautifully done. They pay tribute to the Wyatt family, who actually debuted in the building. God, was that 2010 or 2009? Jeez, it's been so long. So it's kind of their anniversary of the Wyatt family debut. Then we get a video recap of Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam, which apparently now he's a babyface, which I can't believe we're here. Roman Reigns, the babyface. Then we get an in-ring Damian Priest promo. He's all heated. He's ready to fight. He calls out Finn Balor. Asked him to take a beating like a man. Finn Balor doesn't come out. Priest gets the mic again. He says, "For real? You're going from being a prick to a backstabber to a coward. Most of my life I was on my own until Judgment Day. And while you guys just want to be heard and seen, I realized my family just got a lot bigger. So Priest is a babyface now, which, okay. And while I'm upset because I lost the title, you took that title not just from me, but from all of us. And because of that, you made me feel like I disappointed my family." And before Priest can continue, Finn Balor pops up on the Tron, saying, "You think you know suffering? I am the reason for your pain. You brought this on yourself. You betrayed Judgment Day when you won that title." And said, "I was the man of the house. I waited a year. I screwed you and your family. And Judgment Day are going to take you out. But I'm not going to take you on. I'm going to wait until you're almost forgotten about me and stab you in the back again. Only this time it won't just be me. The rest of Judgment Day come in, so that's Dom Mysterio, Liv Morgan, JD McDonough, and Carlito. We all will." So Finn kind of finishes off with that. Priest drops the microphone. He beelines it to the back. And yeah, that ends that segment. Definitely a nice setup for a Finn Balor versus Damian Priest feud. Although, that might get expanded upon. Just you wait. Anyway, we cut to Adam Pearce. He's in his office. He's on the phone with somebody. When Bronson Reed comes in, he asks, "What do I have to do to get a match on this show?" Adam Pearce tries to make up something up. So, what you're saying is, to get to the top, I'm going to have to beat people down. That's some foreshadowing, let me tell you what. We then go to our next matchup of the evening, as it's Lyra Valkyria taking on Shayna Baszler. And these two had a decent little matchup from what it was. Eventually, the usual characters interrupt. That's Zoe Stark and Sonya Deville. One point, Shayna Baszler goes for the Karafuda, but that gets blocked by Lyra. Lyra has Shayna in for the Nightwing, but in comes Sonya and Zoe to attack Lyra, so the match is thrown out. Beatdown on Lyra continues until Damage Control comes out and they brawl with Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe. So that was definitely a nice little setup for something more down the line, hopefully. I do wish there was a winner here, because I don't know. I understand what they're doing with this non-finish, and thankfully there isn't another one on this show. But good lord, pick your battles, WWE. Anyway, so we cut backstage to a Final Testament promo with Karrion Kross taking the lead, saying tick-tock. The clock strikes midnight on the new day. While you have been the pillars of this business, that time has come to an end. And tragically, here is Woods not dumping Kofi, realizing his potential. It's so sad. I didn't want it to have to be this way. You chose this, Woods. Witness the death of the new day. Yeah, Kross is definitely, here's what I'll say about Kross. I am definitely getting a little tired of the New Day feud, but there's definitely a little twist coming a little later. Anyway, so we see Ivy Nile. She's in the back. She's talking with the Creed brothers. Then in walks Maxine, who asks Ivy, "Oh, where you been? I've been trying to look all over for you. We've been missing opportunities, etc., etc." The Creeds leave. Chad Gable comes in, asks, "What the heck is going on here?" Maxine, before she can let out anything, Gable says, "Look, you stay away from my talent. We're going to be just fine without the Academy. In fact, you, Otis, and Tozawa can keep the Alpha Academy name. We'll figure out something later. And just you watch that main event where we take out the Wyatt Six." Alright, so definitely a couple little things to look at here. So apparently Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine can keep the Alpha Academy name. I'm wondering if they're going to go recruiting, because honestly, that would be hilarious. Have Otis go on recruiting drives backstage. And certain talent shows up, like I don't know, maybe EO Sky or someone. I think that would be hilarious. Anyway, that's just my thought on that. Then we go for a usual CM Punk in-ring promo. He asks the crowd, "Why am I so happy tonight?" And take a quick minute and you'll see. You'll watch the good work pay off. I didn't break at SummerSlam. This is why I'm happy. I haven't been to Baltimore in 10 years. Really? AEW never went to Baltimore? I'm surprised by that. I could have sworn they'd been to Baltimore. Anyway. Obviously losing doesn't make me happy. But Monday wasn't always a guarantee. You love me because I don't stay down. January I was hurt. And just as I'm coming back, that's why I'm happy. I was told 9 months, I did it in 5. Drew hurt me, and he was proud. I'm not happy I lost, but SummerSlam was just the start, and I'm going to make my way back to the top. My summer of hate didn't go the way I wanted, but it's still the summer, and I'm ready for less Punk talking, more fighting. And I'm ready for a round 2 with Drew. I'm still standing. This brings out someone kind of interesting. Not Drew, Seth Rollins. Seth gets on the microphone. He says, you're obviously in a good mood. So am I. It's time for me to put you in the dirt. So Seth tries to get in the ring. Punk blocks him. Punk then says, look, I'm all ready for a fight whenever you are. Let's go. So they both kind of disrobe a little. Not even with wrestling gear. So like jeans, t-shirts, whatever. So it looks like they're about to lock up. Then Drew, who is up in the crowd, which I love that. He's on the microphone. He says, guys, what is with all this negativity? It's a time for celebration. Punk, you obviously earned my attention. I shocked the world. I proved you still got it. But you're no longer the best in the world. I am. And I still got this. He's still got the bracelet with the dog. With Punk's dog and wife's name on it. So Punk kind of does a little double take. And then he goes after Drew. And, yeah, that's definitely interesting. However, segment doesn't end there. Seth is gathering his stuff. In comes Bronson Reed, who just destroys Seth Rollins. Splashes, Death Valley Driver, and then like 18 tsunamis. Even with officials coming out trying to break it up, he hits like 10 more. And it looks like Reed was going up for one more, but officials roll Seth out of the way to end the segment. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a really good way to reheat someone like Bronson Reed. He definitely feels like a big threat. I hope they do something a little bit more with Bronson Reed. He is definitely a hell of a talent. And he needs something. In a program with Seth, that could be fun. So then we go backstage for an Adam Pearce interview, revealing that Seth was taken to the hospital. We'll have a medical update on it when available. This brings in CM Punk, who's looking for Drew and maybe Reed, with Pearce saying, look, he's gone for now. You got a match with him next week. Good luck. So we definitely got that set up. That should be a fun one. Next up, we got the Authors of Pain, who got the kind of a jobber entrance. Like, they still got their name announced, but they didn't get the full entrance. We just saw them in the ring, taking on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day. And this was definitely an interesting, speed versus power type of match. It was honestly really, really good. Kofi takes out a bunch of the Final Testament with the trust fall. But then Woods, who's on the top rope looking for the big elbow drop, is knocked off the top by Karrion Kross, with the ref distracted with Scarlett. But then who comes to the rescue? It ain't Big E, but it's someone we haven't seen, at least on the main roster, in a while. It's Odyssey Jones, who I'm not familiar with, but holy heck, this was definitely a big old surprise. He attacks Kross from behind. That distracts whatever member of the AOP was in there. Roll up. 1, 2, 3. So your winners, the New Day. AOP attack the New Day. Woods post-match. Jones comes in to make the save. Hits a double side slam on both members of AOP. Kross comes in to fight back. And then Odyssey Jones with a black hole slam. So that was a nice little exclamation point for a talent that got drafted 2 years ago to Raw. This is his debut. What the heck took you so long? And honestly, teaming him up with the New Day isn't a bad idea. Especially if Big E is still hurt. Odyssey Jones could fill that role pretty well. Although, there is a segment coming up that says maybe New Day aren't sticking together. We'll see. Anyway, so then we cut to a JD McDonough promo. He says, you know what my favorite part of SummerSlam was? It was you, Priest. You didn't see you were champ without us. You never wanted me in Judgment Day. Well, now I'm your out, and tonight I'll make you suffer. So we're getting JD McDonough versus Damian Priest a little bit later. Then we cut backstage. We see Odyssey Jones and Kofi Kingston. They're kind of chatting. They're celebrating this new alliance. In walks Woods. And he asks, alright, what are we celebrating about? Odyssey Jones says, look, Kofi reached out to me. He told me you guys needed help. So, I came in to help. So, yeah, it looks like maybe we're going to get a Kofi Odyssey Jones tag team. And then Woods maybe goes off and does something on his own. Or maybe Odyssey Jones turns heel with Xavier Woods to feud with Kofi? I don't know. It's an interesting way to go. And then in walks the Alpha Academy with everyone doing that stupid Akira Tozawa dance. Tozawa needs to do something else. I'm sorry. Dude needs to go back to being a killer and maybe a number one contender somewhere. I don't know. Then we get this really weird ass match that was actually kind of set up at SummerSlam with the whole Jelly Roll Chokeslam. As you have A-Town Down Under taking on the Awesome Truth, aka the former tag team champions coming out of WrestleMania. And this match, it was a fun little TV match. It was what it was. One point you had R-Truth hitting the AA on Waller. Theory comes up from behind, hits an A-Town down for the victory for his team. And then you see, while Miz is a little flustered, he helps his boy Woods up, R-Truth up, and they embrace. They're going to be breaking up soon. I honestly hope. Then we get a Damian Priest promo saying, this has been a long time coming. The only one guy who wanted you in Judgment Day, JD, and that was Finn. I've already been betrayed time and time again. I caught the first bullet. I got enough in the chamber for all of you. And I'm going to be sending your ass to hell. So a nice little fired up promo from Priest. Then we go to a very interesting Braun Breaker backstage interview. Where he pretty much says, look, I had a thought. I wonder how guys talk about the title all the time. It's been 3 years since my WWE debut. And I'm already a champion. And if you think I'm the target, I'm the hunter. And who is going to be dumb enough to step to me to try and take my title? My name is on this title. And no being on the planet who can take my name off of it. Dang, okay, yeah. It's then revealed next week we're going to get a 2 out of 3 falls match between Braun and Sami Zayn. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Next up, we got the Judgment Day Implosion match as JD McDonough takes on Damian Priest. And yeah, nice little back and forth. Priest does dominate for a little bit, but then Carlito pulls JD out of the ring, checks on him, and then Priest backs Carlito off, tosses JD into the ring post. They get back in. Priest tries for a South of Heaven. JD blocks. JD with a beautiful moonsault, only for a 2 count. Priest hits a broken arrow, but JD rose to the outside. Priest follows with an intense pounce over the announce table. One point Carlito tries to interfere. Priest deals with him. South of Heaven. But then out comes Finn Balor, who beats down Priest from behind, so the match is thrown out. Rest of Judgment Day come out. They attack Priest. Priest tries to fight back, but the numbers are too much. Then out comes Rhea Ripley to run all them off. Rhea then sets up the announce table and powerbombs Dominic through it. That was crazy. No, tries to powerbomb Liv through it. Dom saves Liv and they run off. Except JD McDonough is still beating down on Priest. Rhea gets back in the ring. JD turns around. Boom. Sees a ghost. Rhea with a headbutt. And Priest with a South of Heaven. And then Rhea and Priest then embrace. So it looks like the Terror Twins are staying together as a group. Will we see more people join their side, or are they just kind of on their own? Because, yeah, I think this twosome would be fine on their own. Next, we see Damage Control. They're walking backstage. They're ready for their next matchup. But then Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler attack them backstage, taking out Dakota Kai. It was supposed to be Sonya versus Dakota next. However, you have Sonya and her crew make their entrance. She gets on the mic saying, it seems like Dakota is a little bit under the weather and will not be joining us. Out comes Io Sky, and the match is made official. It is Sonya Deville versus Io Sky. And this was a nice little mix of styles. You know, the high flying of Io Sky, the sort of ground and pound of Sonya Deville. There were some little missed moments here and there, but eventually they did get it back on track. At one point, you had Sky hit a moonsault to the inside on Sonya, with Kairi Sane hitting an insane elbow to the outside. Sky then hits an over the moonsault to pick up the win. So, yeah, nice little TV matchup between the two of them. We then get backstage. It's Ilya Dragunov and Sami Zayn. They're kind of talking backstage, with Sami finalizing saying Ilya is going to be a great champion one day. So they kind of fist bump. Ilya walks off. Jey Uso comes in, says, look, sorry about what happened at SummerSlam. It's been a tough book, but you're going to get that rematch with Braun, and you're going to get the title back. Sami, he's kind of looking a little dejected, but then he kind of perks up. He says, I already got that rematch, and it's happening next week. And hey, and then Jey Uso pretty much says, well, we've also got good focus on the tag team titles, and you could be a double champ. Then we get a little Seth Rollins update. It seems like he's going to be out for a little while. Then we get a Wyatt 6 style video promo, and it's Joe Gacy. He's sitting in the back. He pretty much says, "You thought you could control me? I saw through your lies. Now we are here. Now we're here." So, nice short, sweet little promo from Joe Gacy. As we then go to our main event, as it's Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, now known as American Made, which is the weirdest stable name I think I've ever heard, taking on Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Lumis of the Wyatt 6. And I'm going to say this, they finally dropped the rest of Bray Wyatt's last theme song. So from their debut till now, they kind of just been doing just kind of right in the beginning. Now they dropped the rest of the song, and it fits so well. And then you have Bo Dallas / Uncle Howdy coming out. He's sitting ringside in Bray Wyatt's old rocking chair, which is also a nice little touch. So, match starts off. I'm going to say this. Dexter Lumis has improved greatly since the last time I saw him. Like, he's not going to be mixing it up with, like, Bryan Danielson and, like, getting a half-decent match out of him. But he definitely did decently. Joe Gacy I'm not that familiar with, but he definitely fits. And then you got the big man. You got Rowan. And he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. Definitely some really, really good back and forth between the three of them. With eventually the Wyatt 6 finishing this match with a powerbomb senton combination and a big splash from Lumis for the win for the Wyatt 6. Now, I'm going to say something a teeny little bit controversial. Match itself wasn't perfect. There were definitely some issues. But as a nice little tribute, I think the Wyatt 6 did their job. And yeah, Bray Wyatt would be proud. Now here's the thing. Where does the Wyatt 6 go next? Because I think that was part of the issue with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. You kind of had things happening, but nothing was really moved forward. You know what I mean? So hopefully we got some plans for these guys, because they definitely deserved it. So that was Monday Night Raw. Kind of a bit of a more of a mixed bag than I'd like to admit, but I definitely had fun. It was definitely a fun show. And honestly, I'd say if you're a fan of more kind of spookiness, like Undertaker level gimmicks, I think the Wyatt 6 is for you. So now we move into NWA Power, which was a little decent show. Start off with them hyping up Mims vs. Zion, which is our main event. We start off, though, with Odin, Son, and Kratos, the Immortals, taking on the DCVC. I don't really remember what that stands for, but, you know, this matchup was definitely very interesting. One of the little guys from DCVC definitely had trouble with the bigger dudes, and the Immortal usually tagged into his partner. Really interesting back and forth, with the Immortals eventually picking up the win with Immortality. Then we go to a ringside interview with the Immortals, with Kratos starting off saying, "Every time the Immortals walk in the NWA, it's a chance to show why we are the best. And the Immortals are here. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah." Or whatever they chant for that. We then go to a Knox, Murdoch, and Smalls interview with Murdoch pretty much, with Knox pretty much starting off saying, "It's time for more. I got a secret about Stevens. When you were born, you were not born Aaron. You were born moron, Stevens. See you guys soon." Then they go to Smalls, who pretty much says, "Ready ever since you've been here. You've been a good luck charm to us. Judging me by my life, you accepted me. Stevens, you mess with Smalls, you get hit in the balls." Eric Smalls, definitely an interesting character. We'll see where this goes. We then get another vignette from Only Slams, which I don't know what to make of this. Either it's going to be an interesting character or it's going to be like weirdly sexual, which either way we'll see. Then we go to this absolute war. It's Alex Misery taking on Colby Carino. And this match, it definitely felt like they wanted to kill each other. Like that, it's that amount of heat that I absolutely love. Eventually they do brawl up to the stage layout, which is interesting. And then Colby tosses Alex Misery kind of into the ring. I kind of missed it. Eventually they get back in the ring. Colby hits the L driver to pick up the win. Definitely an entertaining matchup. A bit more, as I say, kind of weapons-fueled matchup than I figured it would be. But, yeah, definitely an interesting match that I'm going to recommend. Then we get a Thrillbilly Silas Mason promo. He's addressing Tom Latimer, saying, "With your wife not here, but you're carrying a title in a nation you don't live in. The grass isn't always greener. Then it burns down. I'm gonna burn down everything you care for to get back to the top." So, nice little promo from Thrillbilly Silas Mason, setting up the match for next week. We then get an interview from the King Bees. It's definitely been a little while since we've seen them. With them saying, "Look, it's been no challenge at all. You got to beat us first, but then we've beat you and your sister twice over. You think you're going to waltz into our kingdom and take our titles? We're always ready for a fight." So, nice little fired up promo from the King Bees, who have the Page sisters coming in to try and take the tag team titles. Then we got something a little bit interesting, a little territory action from NWA, as the JCP tag team titles are on the line, as the Stute Crew take on the Miserably Faithful. And yeah, this match was actually a lot of fun. Sal and Gags are definitely a heck of a team. The Stu Crew I'm definitely getting used to, but they're definitely absolutely talented. Eventually the Stu Crew pick up the win with the Coalfield Combo, which is a suplex middle rope clothesline maneuver. Definitely very interesting. I think one of my favorite tag team matches of the week so far. So, let's see them step up a little bit. And we go to our main event of Power, as it's Zion taking on Mims. Now, the difference between this is Mims now has Black G's in his corner. So, he has low counter to Austin Idol. So, match definitely starts out really, really well. Zion and Mims have some great chemistry. I want to see them fight a little bit more often. Eventually, Idol does get involved a little bit, but then Jeez comes in, gets into the face of the Idol. They start yapping. This distracts Zion for a bit. Chop blocked by Mims. And then Mims then locks in the crossface chicken wing, which is an interesting little move for Mims to pick up the submission win. Yeah, I don't know what to say about Mims. Mims is definitely a good wrestler, but now he has kind of this edge with Black G's in his corner. And, them picking up wins. That's always good. We'll see what happens with Mims in the near future. Hopefully he gets another title opportunity somewhere. But, that was a pretty entertaining main event with a kind of a mixed bag for Power. Not saying it was bad, but there were definitely some things that needed to be worked on a little bit. Alright, that'll do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed. Coming Tuesday is going to be the AEW blog. So it's going to be Dynamite. And I'm also going to try to cover Collision, which is later tonight. Got some big things coming. We have All In coming up, which that should be a fun show. We got Emergence from TNA. You got all kinds of stuff from wrestling going on. If you just look out for it. Alright, that'll do it for me. Till next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.